First of all, shout out to the homie right here that popped up and does not want to go away. And I couldn't wait to film for you guys. So we just gonna ignore him like he's not even there. So just ignore my huge bonker right here. I was too excited to film for you guys, so I couldn't wait for this darn thing to go away. So just covered it up with some makeup, so whatever. Hi everyone, and welcome to my channel. So I don't want to talk too much. I just want to say thank you for those of you who are following me. Thank you to those of you who follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and now YouTube. I do see all the love. I do appreciate it, and it really inspires me. So I'm just gonna shut up now. So let's get right into the video. Okay, so I've gone ahead and pinned my hair out of the way, and I'm just gonna get started. So the product that I'm using for my eyebrows right now is the Makeup Forever Aqua Brow. And it just comes in a little tube like this, and I'm in the shade number 25. And I like this color because it's a little light for me, for my hair color, but I kind of like going for lighter eyebrows sometimes. So I just take a tiny little bit. What I like to do is on a palette, I just kind of like to rub some like this, like squeeze them out like that. I don't know if you guys can see that, but just a little bit. And then I'll take an angled brush. It doesn't matter what kind of angled brush. This one is the MAC 266, I believe. Kind of looks like that. It's just what I have semi-clean right now, but I mean, you could use any angled brush that works for you. And I'll just dip my brush into the product and then start building my brow. So as you guys can see, I don't really have too much brow, and that's just from years of over plucking them, and so now they won't grow the same. But I do have a little bit of hair there, so that's kind of like my guide of where I want my brow to be at. So I'm just gonna start working on it, and I'm gonna start from the bottom and start drawing in my outline. And I'm just doing light strokes, and this is like it's like a gel formula, so I really like this. It's like a cream, and then it dries to a matte finish, and it is like budge. It is like budge proof. So I know that looks crazy right now. But I just keep filling it in to how I want. And this is just how I like to do my eyebrows. I do realize that these brows look very artificial and very done up, but that's just the way that I like for them to look. And literally all I'm doing is just little strokes and just in the shape that I want my brow to be in. So I'm literally just painting on an eyebrow with this stuff. So I'm just gonna keep building my brow. And I like this formula because even though this is like a lighter color, I can build the color once it starts to dry a little bit. I can build the color and it'll get darker. Or I can use very little of the color and it can be very light, which I like because I get to play around with the same product and not have to buy multiple colors of it. And I'm going a little slow because I can barely see, guys. I don't have my contacts in. So now I'm going to just fill in this gap right here. And now I'm going to start working on the front. Towards the front, I'm going to go in with really, really light strokes. And I'm actually going to take a paper towel and just wipe down my brush, and so that there's no excess product on there. And I'm just going to start going in with little strokes towards the front. And all I'm doing is just doing little strokes. You could take your spoolie and just kind of blend it, but I have no idea where mine is right now. So I wipe down my brush a little bit, and then I'm going back in to further kind of blend this color. And I'm just barely like touching the brow. So I'm going in with a little bit more product, and I'm just touching up the bottom of the brow, and then anywhere else that it might need it. In here needs a little bit of product to kind of bring things together. Okay. And then I'm wiping my brush off again, and then blending this color here. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the other eyebrow, and I'll be right back. After I've drawn on my eyebrows, I will go ahead and clean them up with concealer. And I know that a lot of people like to clean up their eyebrows with concealer at the bottom and at the top as well. That's not something that I like to do. I just like to do the bottom, and then the top I'll just try and get it as polished as possible. So I just go in with a concealer and a concealer brush, and the brush I use looks like this, and it's from Crown Brush, I believe, and so it doesn't have like a name or anything. It's just your regular basic B concealer brush. And then right now the concealer that I'm using, I love MAC Pro Longwear under the brows, especially because when you haven't tweezed in a while, it really conceals that. But unfortunately I broke mine. So right now what I'm using is the Maybelline Fit Me concealer. If you guys are curious, I use this shade 20 Sand. So I'm just gonna go right underneath the brow and kind of clean it up in the shape that I wanted. And all I'm doing is I'm just going in with really light strokes. And for this, you want to use a concealer that's a couple shades lighter than your skin. I would say like 2 or 3. This concealer is really light, but it's more on the sheer side. So I kind of use it as my highlighter. I'll normally go light in this area just because whatever concealer I use, I'll just use that as my highlight for whatever eyeshadow I'm using, unless I want to use something different. But normally I'm using this concealer to clean up the brow as well as highlight. So now I'm just taking the excess product from the brush down to the lid. I'm just kind of blending it down. And then I'll take my finger and help blend that, especially in the front. I don't want to have a line here of where I started cleaning, of where I started with the concealer. So right here I see that some of the concealer is like kind of gathered a little bit because there was a lot of product on the brush. So I'm just gonna go ahead and go over that and kind of remove some of that. I'm pretty satisfied with the shape, so I'm just gonna go ahead and clean up the other one and I'll be right back. The last thing that I do, and this is like my little secret technique that everybody is always asking me, how do I get my eyebrows to look so light in pictures? And the answer to that is A, I don't draw them in too dark, and B, banana powder. So what I'll do is once I fill in my brows, I clean them up with concealer, I will set the brows into, I will set my eyebrows with powder. So what I do is I set the entire eyebrow with the banana powder, with a beauty blender. And the reason why I started doing that is because I have oily skin, I have combination oily skin, and in here I get pretty oily. So I would notice that at the end of the day, or not even the end of the day, like midday, my eyebrows look like Crisco. So they just look like 2 sticks of butter. So I was like, what can I do, you know, to stop that? And I would even put I used to put Urban Decay Primer Potion on before. I would put my face primer on before, and nothing, you know, they would still get oily. So I tried this and it just worked, and I ended up liking the effect that it gave my eyebrows. Since the powder sticks to the eyebrow area, it kind of gives it like an ashy look because it's powdery. So of course we're gonna wipe off the excess, but it gives it like this little ash tone, and I like my eyebrows to be very ash tone. I don't like any red in my eyebrow color whatsoever. I just don't think that it's flattering for my dark hair. And so I'll use my Makeup Forever that I use is very ash toned, and then once I add the powder, it makes it even more ash tone. And so it kind of gives it, I already drew on my eyebrows. I drew them in a little bit darker today for the video so you guys can see really what I'm doing, but I do like to go even lighter than this and then set them with the powder, which makes them even lighter. So in pictures, they look really light, and I kind of like that effect, and a lot of people seem to like it as well. So here it is, my secret. Not really a secret, I don't mind sharing, obviously. Then I take my beauty blender and I'll load it, literally load it with powder, and then I'll press this powder into the brow. So I'm not gonna talk because there's gonna be some fallout and stuff. And I do this very carefully because I don't want to mess up the concealer that I laid down. So I don't want to move the concealer, I don't want to move anything that I did. So I go ahead and I press that powder in. So can you guys already see the difference of this brow that has powder on it opposed to this one that doesn't? So I'm going to go ahead and do it to the other eyebrow, and then I'll remove the excess. So then I'll take a fluffy brush, and this is my favorite one to use for this, and this is the Real Techniques powder brush. But I'll just take the brush, and I like this one because it's really soft, so I know that it's not going to mess up any of my work, and I just lightly dust off the excess product. And then I'll do the same to the other eyebrow, and I'm just going in really, really light because I don't want to mess up anything that I've done. And so there we go. So that's it, guys. That is it for the video. That is how I do my eyebrows. Even if I switch out the products, the technique stays the same, where I fill them in light and then I set them with banana powder, even if I use eyeshadow. So I might, if you guys want me to do an eyeshadow eyebrow routine where I fill my brows in with the powder, let me know and I'll film that too. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys very, very soon in another video. Bye! Okay, so after I've drawn on my eyebrows, I had a little brain fart. I was like, what is it called? Yeah. And if you guys are curious, I'm not in the shade 20, but I use this shade. Shush. Grr, I suck.